face was amazing. Oh, no.
I was in the midst of cussing out my application that was still open, and here I am on Amy's channel, and I will promise to be on my best non-cursey word behavior. That's why my
Oh,
face was like, "Oh, we're live." Oh.
this one is so I've been swearing about this one for, like, years,
Yeah.
years. So I can't guarantee that nothing's gonna come out, but yikes. Alright. So and this is on my channel. DC's so much better at intros, and she's super creative, and I'm just not. So, but that's okay. I'm gonna work on it. Alright. Um, I don't even know where to start with this. Okay. The reason DC's on here is to make sure that I do this because I have been putting I have been putting this off for so long, but maybe it's because more madness is happening. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to say anything about this one unless she posts something else that is just wrong and is fraudulent. And
Right.
she did. So I'm like, all right, gloves are off. And
Shocker.
right, yeah. And it's hard to remember sometimes, like, the emotional things that you go through, and when you're in an MLM, like, you're in it, and you still have those struggles, and it hurts, and you still have to work through those emotions, and it doesn't end.
Yeah.
Even, like, years later, something may come back up. So, I am going in my previous life, I did a ton of trainings, and I was a manager of a call center. So I'm a PowerPoint kind of girl.
Love that.
So we're going to do a presentation to keep me focused.
Oh my god, I love it so much.
Isn't that fun? All right.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Okay. I'm
Love
gonna
it.
move it. Is that oh no, I need it bigger.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
think
need
you
a
do.
fuller
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep.
Because
Oh.
you have to be able to see this.
Yeah.
And I can't help call them Beachbody coaches. Like, that's just what they are.
Yeah. And it's what most people search for because it's what Beachbody and Carl Deichler himself has spent a crap ton of time, on the SEO and all the pay-per-click and all this other stuff that he's established this history of Beachbody. Now he's trying to run away from it because there's maybe some negative connotation. Oh, stock price? Hello. We know you for sure.
And it's so funny. I think someone asked me what I thought about it. And honestly, he's just too late because they're still doing before and afters. Like, it is so ingrained in them that I don't see all of that. So,
Yeah.
And I did hit present.
We freaking love that for you. We love that for us. I love it for me. Selfishly, I'm just like, you don't know how many times I'm like, oh my God, why am I looking at someone's tabs right now? Why am I looking, at your email list and your Facebook people you're stalking and all this other stuff? I'm like, I don't
need to see this. Just press the present button. Just do it.
So I love that for us. I love it. I love it. I love it so much.
Yes, and thank you so much for all of the peeps in here. And the Beachbody ads have been real the last little while. They're on, like, I'm getting them on podcasts. I'm hearing them on the radio. Like,
My nephew had one on his game he plays on his iPad. My nephew is 6 or 7. He's very young. He's very young. And he can quote the entire thing.
Oh
He
my
can quote
gosh.
the entire ad. I'm like, Carl Deichler, G-rated flip off for you, my guy.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll have stuff. We've got stuff to talk with the Snark crew on. I was going to mention one of the things we'd been chatting about today, but we'll save that one for tomorrow.
Love it.
All right. So so the before and after for this one. Let me see if I can make it go. Okay. So this is kind of what I had said before. I don't know if she knows how to be honest about her transformation. She even posted she lost like 15 pounds in a very short period of time. Like, and I don't see that as being logical either. She just is, So all of them. Okay, so here is the latest reel. I had to take sound off. Okay.
Okay.
So affordable weight loss challenge with one requirement. And I know what the requirement is because I clicked into it and I sent in the form for her to respond. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
the one requirement that she has is that you purchase Trim Fit You.
And for
So
the people who are watching who are not Beachbody people, this is not a Beachbody product at
no,
all.
not at all. And this seems to be what she is continually promoting right now.
Hmm.
And she is an affiliate. So it's not an MLM. It's an affiliate link, but this is all she is pushing. She is still showing her Beachbody workouts though.
Okay.
So it doesn't make any sense. She's now using this as her pre-workout, mood enhancer. So she's promoting direct competitors
Yeah.
from Beachbody, which that in and of itself, like I would probably send it to compliance and be like, it's fine.
Sure.
But oh wait, hold on. Go the other way. So she still is, why is it just keeps going? I don't know what it's doing.
That's okay. We love a
So
technical difficulty to keep us warm. It's good. It's good.
right. Yeah. Oh, I would definitely be, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm sending it to compliance. I'm probably going to be sending it to TrimFit as well,
Mm,
along with the FTC, because this is
love it.
just blatant.
Yeah.
Okay. What?
Colon
That
broom. I hate that ad so much.
Oh man. Did you see this? Okay, so the
Oh,
TrimFit it was founded by Unique, top distributor who was forced to quit Unique.
what?
That would
Oh
make a
my
lot of
god.
sense. That would make a lot of sense. So yeah, she loves to promote colon broom for gut health, right?
Yeah.
She also does a free consult for metabolism and thyroid health. So all of these she's affiliates for. But over on
Yeah.
the side, she does have join my virtual gym and lose weight healthily. Make me your coach, join my team, try my workouts for free. So she's promoting Beachbody actively. Um,
Wow. And
and
that
this trim
goes against their policies and procedures, right? Doesn't that go against their distributor agreement or no?
it absolutely does. I think one of the important things, maybe let me pull this out real quick. So one of the important things with this, and then I'll add this back, with this particular coach, she was a top 10 coach for a couple different years in a row. She has been a coach for a really long time. She does national wake up calls. Like people know who she is.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah.
And I don't know if I've said her name yet. I showed her reel. This is Anita Myron. So
And were you on her team or in her downline at some point?
I have a 5 generation picture with her. She
Oh
was
my
5
god.
generations. But here's the interesting thing. She is now listed as my direct coach because people have quit or left or whatever. So I get emails from her because I'm still like they're trying to reactivate people who had quit coaching or whatever. And so I still get emails from her specifically about Beachbody coaching. So
Wow.
you followed her, she hey girled 5 times. That's pretty funny. Okay.
Wow.
Um, oh wait. So yes, let me show this one. Yeah, this is what Jessica said, I think. So the screen, like the scripting that I have from her still is pretty intense. So, all right. So let's go back to this. Now, it's interesting because like I said, she has colon broom on here. Um, and then this other product. But I'm going to show you what she thinks about Beachbody programs and were they effective? If you notice the bottom, 4-week gut protocol, day 1.
Oh God.
And then day 8, she can pull her pants up.
Are
But
you
hold on. So the one on the right, or I'm not sure which side, one of them was posted on April 6th, 2022 and September 27th, 2022 to promote 4-week gut protocol. The other reel she just posted on April 8th to promote Trim Fit.
This is fraudulent in my opinion. This is G-rated flippity flopping fraudulent. Oh my God. It's the same video.
Like she cut maybe like 3 or 4 seconds off of the beginning, and that's it. She used
Yeah.
the exact same video. And it was funny because we had just gone to like a movie or something, and I pulled up Instagram and that showed up, and I was so mad because I remembered how cringy that video was from 4-week gut protocol. Because and then I had gone back and looked at it because she's also saying that colon broom has helped with her gut issues and stuff. So it's been really kind of in and out with what she's doing. So this is the one that just has happened within like the last week and a half. So if we look at this though, I quit when I quit, and she was my upline by a few, right? So right before I quit, I was not having any success in Beachbody. As far as my own journey, I was totally stuck. I was bouncing back and forth within 5 to 10 pounds. And I was so frustrated with it. Well, Anita added me to a secret group where we were all eating keto, but nobody was talking about that. So we weren't showing food. We weren't doing any of those things. I just kind of wasn't posting at all. They were also posting to join my team and all of those things. When I was like, how can you promote this? It's not working. Like, we're all struggling and we're all doing something totally different than like portion fix or any of those things. And that was part of it that I was like, I can't do this anymore. Okay. And then she was also doing 24-hour fasts. That was definitely a thing. And I will admit, like, I don't even know how many fasts I've done that have been at least that long. I think the longest I went was like 140 hours, maybe. I think it was
140 hours?
yeah. I was drinking water and ketones and electrolytes. That's it. And during that time, I was teaching cardio kickboxing and P90X.
And this wasn't, I'm guessing this isn't this isn't probably just a one-off story with you. I'm sure other people are participating in these really potentially harmful practices of no nutrition and high intensity exercise. That's
Well, it's kind of like, and Beachbody, to me, Beachbody kind of instilled some of those things in me when we would do the 3-day refresh, which is kind of I don't even know what you want to call it, almost like an Optavia type. I think we were only eating maybe 600 or 700 calories. And in the product material, it would tell you not to work out while you were doing it. We all did it because we had to stick to our calendar, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so the problem that I had, so I was in Prove It, and the 60-hour keto reboot thing that we did, my thing was like, well, if 60 hours is good, then 120 is better, right? And because I'm kind of an extreme, and I'm an extreme like follower. Okay, I'll check my YouTube or my Instagram after this. Okay, so now we're going to do a history lesson.
Oh boy, we love that. We love a history lesson.
Okay, so Anita did her first Beachbody post on her Instagram back in 2012. So she's been a coach for 11 years.
Okay.
She makes a whole lot of money. One of the first things that she did was this bikini competition. And so that it like 2 years into it, she talks about how horrible she felt when she was doing the bikini comp, right? It was like plain chicken and it was awful, awful, awful. And she didn't like how she felt when she was doing the bikini comp. So, so then, obviously life happens and you switch over to something else. So these are her before and afters. These are all pictures of what she used. So the one picture is from when she very first started Beachbody, and then her bikini comp. Okay. And I just posted an example of 4 different posts over on the side and then put the dates, right? So all the same picture, except for one had a Santa hat, which I thought was cute, a cute addition. Exact same and pretty much the same message on all 4 of those. Okay.
Yeah.
Then 80-day obsession. So she was in like the coach group or whatever for 80-day obsession. Here's her day 1 from 80-day obsession and her day 80. She posted this on October 31st. So she had started it, I think in July sometime was when they had started the program to then come out with their results. And she did great. Okay. Did awesome. Well, then this is, I kept thinking, I'm like, the only way to do this is through a PowerPoint. Okay. So these are her 80-day obsession results. But then she started posting this. And it has day 1 and day 240. And that day 1, and these pictures were posted on those dates, 11/24/17, 1/11/18, down up to 2020.
Oh my God.
With a day 1 and a day 240. And so day 240 happened years before day 1.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And these are all on her, they're all still on her Instagram page.
Oh my God. This is fraudulent. This is freaking fraudulent.
It is flat out lying to people. Oh, wait. Hold on. I'll take it back out. It's flat out lying. It's like deliberate falsification.
Yeah, I mean, in general, I remember when we listened to that lawyer guy on one of the Sip and Snark streams, and he was saying that you can get into big trouble with the before and afters in general because it could be making some kind of claims, but he was saying something about that. But this has to be well and above the issue with that because you're taking pictures that are not in chronological order and they're not even associated with each other. Like you're trying to create some kind of narrative here and you're trying to do it so that you can personally profit, and that's wrong. It's so wrong. Oh my God.
And that really is what made me so mad because I was like, okay, you're not doing this like, man, maybe this would help motivate someone or, I'm not, because why would you lie to be altruistic? And the amount of just crap that like this has driven me crazy for a couple of years because I was like, I cannot be associated with this. I won't do any of this. And so to have her and then to start up and do it again, with a different company while still profiting off of Beachbody. I mean, she was making a lot of money,
Yeah.
From Beachbody. She used to show us her like back office. And I mean, she was bringing in 10,000 plus a week. Like I did a diamond retreat, like whole 9 yards. Like I did a lot with Anita.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's so hard. And she does have a lot of personal things that happened and that happened during this time. And so part of it was, I was like, maybe that doesn't necessarily give an excuse, but maybe she was struggling emotionally, mentally, and was desperate. But no, like, no, we've now shown that this is how you market.
Yeah, it's consistent behavior. It's not a one-off mistake. It's not, "Oh my gosh, I did something and it was a weak moment or I was uneducated or whatever." It seems intentional and it seems like it is targeted so that she can make money. And how twisty is it to take the results not even associated with Beachbody and allocate them to Beachbody, and then to take those results that weren't with Beachbody and allocate them to Colon Broom, and then to do it with whatever she's doing now, and then to say, look how much money I make with this, and look how this incredible transformation happened. And it didn't happen. It
Okay.
didn't happen.
No. And with the Trim Fit You, she posted on I don't know, it was just this last week sometime, that she had earned almost $10,000 last month from that affiliate link alone.
Wow.
And if you watch what she's doing, I had talked with someone earlier today and she was like, "Oh my gosh, she's an Angie Belmar wannabe," meaning Angie Belmar, who was number one coach, very Disney princess, that type of thing. Anita truly wants to be an influencer. And so she's trying her hardest to build up people. And she's doing it by lying.
Did you know that you can get into the regulatory agencies do not take kindly to influencers scamming the hell out of the consumer. There are some people with Bitcoin who are getting sued right now because they were promoters or affiliates with this company. Kim Kardashian got fined $1 million for not disclosing that she was paid from another company she was associated with in promoting. You can get into big trouble. So when we're like, disclose that it's an ad. Please tell the consumer. It's not just like, yeah, you shouldn't be trying to pull one over on the consumer. It's also for you so that you protect yourself. Because it's like, it's a win. It's a win-win. It's a win for the consumer and it's a win for the influencer because there's some protection to say, hey, you know what? I'm getting a kickback, or I was paid to talk about this and I also get a percentage if you buy through my link, or I only get it through the link.
Yeah. She very rarely will disclose that she is an affiliate or that she's getting compensated. Like, you know that she is,
Sure.
but I don't know that anybody would go onto their story and be like, "Oh my gosh, you guys, Colon Broom has changed my life. You should try it." Unless I was getting paid a
Yeah.
lot of money. I don't see myself doing that one. But but there are some things, like, she'll be like, "Oh my gosh, you guys, I don't know if you guys have tried this yet. I just discovered this new shopping site and here I'm sending you there." And it's like, are you doing this because you think it's cool, or are you doing this because they're paying you money to say this? And you never know.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Yep.
But for me, it was once I saw the video being used for 80-day obsession, or sorry, not 80-day, for gut protocol, and then this new product, I was like, you are so brazen to not even attempt to differentiate it other than the wording on the bottom.
Yeah. And again, I guess people watching this video could say, "Oh, Amy has a bone to pick with her, you know, she had a bad experience in Beachbody/Body and now she's taking it out on her." And it's like, no, it's literally about the behavior. This behavior not only is from this coach that Amy's talking about, it happens in other coaches as well. And who gets harmed by this? The people, the consumer. And also they are creating a I don't know, a pretend idea that the product is more effective than it is because they're not using transformations that are associated with that product. They're cherry picking and saying, "Oh, this was a great before and after picture, and or this was a great before picture, and this was a great after picture. I'm going to mash them up, and then I'm going to sell $10,000 worth of this product." And it's like,
Ma'am, that's fraud. That's fraudulent. That's so fraudulent.
Right? And so for those, I think some are maybe just joining. I'm just gonna put up just to do a basic recap. So oh, I automatically took it back out. Hold on. Okay, so these are the two different videos that she posted. One video, let's start it again. One video was posted on April 6th, 2022 and September 27th, 2022 to promote Beachbody's 4-week gut protocol. And then the other one was just posted on 4/8 to promote Trim Fit's You product. So,
and she covered over the text with
Yep.
the text with the background on it to cover up, it looks like in the same spot to cover up the where she said 4-week gut protocol,
Yep.
day 8. Wow.
Isn't that crazy? So there's that one, and then the other one was her pictures. And there you go. So that is what I have been trying to battle with myself over. You is the name of the company, and I think Trim Fit might be the specific
Okay.
product that she's using.
So why was it so difficult for you to like why was it such a big like wrestling in your mind in whatever, like you thinking it over and mulling it over and saying something's wrong here, but I'm very cautious about speaking up. And what was it that was like difficult for you?
I think that one that like I had a personal relationship with her. Like I went to a diamond retreat with her. Like I knew her on a bigger level, I think, than a lot of the people that I'll do videos on.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing. The second thing is knowing all of the personal things that have gone on. And it's actually been recently since we started looking at all the things with Jesse Lee. And it's like, even if something horrible and tragic has gone on in your life, that doesn't give you a pass to defraud, like to be fraudulent, to be wrong, to spread misinformation, to scam people. It doesn't matter what is going on. Like that just it's not okay.
It's not a
And
get out of jail free card
yeah,
to when you are sick, or and this is not the same situation, but, like, I have sensory issues, and I had outbursts as kids as a kid, and big emotions, and my dad sat down with me so many times, and he said, "Just because you're feeling these big feelings doesn't mean that you get to take other people out while you're having them."
yep.
And because directing the I mean, one, you're learning as a kid. Yes, there was grace with that, but it's like just because you're going through these traumatic things, and I'm not saying over, me getting my circuits overloaded is the same. But it's the same similar ideas of like with Jesse Lee Ward.
Mhm.
Yes, you have a devastating diagnosis. Stage 4 diagnosis is is awful, and that does not mean you get to take out and really scare the crap out of people and weaponize phobias without someone saying, "Hey, that's wrong. What you're doing is wrong." Threatening to do awful things to people is wrong,
Oh my god.
and even if you're sick.
And that's I think that's where I got was my husband had to kind of remind me. He's like, "You can hold both at the same time. She went through something tragic and she's doing this, and it's
Yeah,
not okay."
yeah,
And one has nothing to do with the other, really. Like they're separate, and I can still have a lot of compassion for the losses that she had and how difficult that was for her, and still call out this
yeah,
because I think part of what also got me over that was seeing the thousands of women commenting on this saying, "Oh my gosh, I just ordered," or "Can't wait to join," or all of these things. And I was that woman. I
Yeah.
was the woman who was like, "Oh my gosh, this is what I've been waiting for." And so knowing that this is just another grift is like, no, I can't continue to sit on it.
Yeah, so are you gonna are and you said you were gonna email the company that she is, I say shilling because she's not doing it in an ethical way. I think there's legitimate ethical affiliate partnerships that people do and that they're above board and they fully inform the consumer and they're great. I say shill as a way to differentiate that because that looks bad for the company that she's an affiliate with. It looks bad for people like Dime when all of their brand partners refuse to put brand partner an affiliate link. It looks bad for Dime, and then when Dime doesn't do anything about it, that also looks bad for Dime. And I love Amy that you're going to give you the chance to hopefully correct the course of her, and maybe make her take her videos down. I hope.
Yeah, I hope so too. And here's the thing, maybe this product has worked for her. She probably does have something that she could have said or something that she could have done that was not lying.
Yeah,
And I just but then to be doing this while doing Beachbody,
twisty.
it's like, okay, how and that's one of the reasons I stopped Beachbody because I was like, I cannot say that this is working for me because it's not anymore.
Yeah.
It's not working for me. And so the fact that so many of them continue to stay in Beachbody strictly because of the money that they are making, and they really don't do it anymore. They don't do the affiliates. They're not even part of it, but getting so much money. eh, it's not okay.
It's not. I wonder, in a perfect world, how would I don't know, like what government agency is big enough to put pressure on? It's like when money's involved, we've seen so many people get so heated. Emily Favre, Autumn Calabrese, Kat Napolitano, uh, uh, all the people when we're saying, look, just be ethical, just tell us the information that is that's scientifically founded, or get your certification and stop gaslighting us that reading a book is the same thing as taking a test and having a regulatory agency give you a certification for something. It's not the same, Autumn. And so it's like, what I guess I'll ask you this, but in my mind, it's the companies that are going to have to say, you know what, um, not screwing over the consumers who place their trust in us is more important than $1 or $1 million.
And that's where it's interesting, even when we have gone to body or Beachbody and said, hey, all of these top coaches, here are all of their profiles. None of them disclose that they are a Beachbody coach, which goes against your policies and procedures. And their response was, we have too many other things to look at. We don't have time for that.
Sounds like a personal problem, Beachbody. It's like, who's going to do it? That's fine. Then you're going to get all the attention you want on this problem on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok. And I hate to be that person because I love giving a company the opportunity to pivot or to say this was my experience. I'm not trying to ruin this person's life and stop them from being able to make money. This is what happened. I'd love for the behavior to change,
Yep.
like with the Jesse Lee Ward situation in the Ukraine. Uh, and again, my bias is wishing harm on an entire nation because your ex-boyfriend is from Ukraine was just awful to listen to. And why would a company want to continue being associated with someone who shares those ideas about other humans? I said, look, I'm not saying cancel her account. I'm not saying do anything to her. I'm saying this makes you look bad. This makes Prove It look
Mhm.
bad because there's no change behavior.
No.
There's none.
And I think the worst part is we know in the background what some of these regulatory boards or what some of these companies say because we're messaging them often.
Yep.
Consumers don't know this. And like I feel a responsibility to correct the things that I probably I totally did. I totally did when we were in it, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, the only way is to stand up and say, this isn't right. And if you give us a shining example, then no, you have to be held accountable. And these companies frequently do not care.
Yeah.
And it's so maddening because, oh, and so that's why we talk out about it because if they're not going to do it, then we will.
Yeah, and it's powerful for many voices to speak up about something, and it's powerful. I mean, even the people watching for one person, like the viewer or in your individual life, to say, "Hey, you know what? This is wrong," or "Hey, I actually have seen that this person is sharing this fraudulently because none of their results are about this," and saying and preventing someone from buying something that is being purchased with a fraudulent before and after photo. uh, there's lots of ways to do it, and yeah, it does seem overwhelming because you have these million and multi-million and billion-dollar companies who are like, "Man, we don't really want these people saying stuff about us because it's gonna affect our bottom line." I hope that people speaking up does affect people's bottom line if someone's gonna say, "You know what? I don't wanna do business with someone who refuses to correct the behavior," when it's about how we treat other humans. And we saw that with that rapper who recently got convicted for stuff against underage. I'm trying to be careful because my recent YouTube video got slapped by YouTube, so I'm trying to use protective language. Um, but there was a hashtag going on around that was like mute whatever his name was. I don't remember his name.
Yeah,
And
it was R. Kelly's.
R. Kelly. So it was like it was going around, and it's like people like the viewers here change behavior because they changed his ability to they I don't know they reduced his ability to harm as many people because they weren't buying his concert
Yep.
and his concert tickets, and like wouldn't that be a powerful thing to mute MLMs to do the hashtag mute MLM and start talking to them, to the companies, in a way that would maybe make them think twice that, oh my gosh, these compliance emails we're getting, maybe we should do something about them. And maybe we should take a stand and say, not all behavior is okay under our roof at our business.
Yeah. Well, or even come on and say, "Do you know what? I need to apologize to you guys.
Yep.
This is what I did." And there's such a stigma against being able to admit that they would rather just put it under the rug. You know, I've applauded the companies who have said, "You know what? You're right. We did that. We should not have done that. And here's how we're correcting it."
Yeah.
But I don't it'll be interesting to see what will happen. Um, and so I'll have to do a follow-up video because I'm sure these like if it was my company, especially if, you know, a woman started this Trim Fit, company or whatever, because I know they also have a collagen, because she also sells the collagen all the time. I'm
Mm.
like, Beachbody has a collagen.
Yep.
Like, I don't understand. Um, but if it was my company, I would want to know. I would want to make sure that I was working with people who I felt were ethical.
Yeah.
And maybe they just don't realize that. I don't know, but you know, and it's
I hope they do. I mean, I hope, in a pretend world, maybe they don't realize it. And, in my like naive heart, I kind of hope like, oh my gosh, they just didn't realize it. And then they're going to change when they find out all the information. And when we found out that Prove It found out all the information and is just going to do their Prove It thing, it's like, okay, game on. Game on. Unfortunately, what I would love to believe the best about you, that is not the case. That is not the case.
and it makes a difference, right? So I just wanted to put this up from Shadow. So yeah, Maverick the Collection is no longer gonna do their MLM side. They announced that today.
Yep.
Guess what? I truly believe that that is in large part due to the anti-MLM community who
Yep.
came out with quite a few videos on this company and talked about it. And like there truly is power with us talking
Yeah.
and
And
expressing these things.
the wild thing is the response from the CEO to the videos that came out, it could have gone a completely different way. The voice messages to Isabella, the videos, that is so telling. And if you're in marketing and you don't realize the power of your words and what and how it's interacting with potentially us, the negative feedback for some of the stuff that you're doing, you know, you're missing an understanding of how that works. And CEOs, could you imagine if Carl had come out and said, "You know what? When I was young and not as educated, I was really caught up in the beach body idea of six pack and low body percentage fat, and that was what I thought was the only way to get to true health. And I realized that I contributed a lot to a negative environment that we have in Beachbody and our impact on the users about how we eat and how we work out. And I'm sorry. Oh, could you imagine the change? Could you imagine the difference?
Well, and honestly, it would be such a more powerful message and story and getting people to see like, do you know what? I was wrong and we are going to pivot and this is why and just own it.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be interesting to see how she responds, I guess.
Yeah.
Um and
Very interesting.
yeah, and if she'll just say, "Do you know what? You're right. I did this. I shouldn't have done this and I'm fixing it." Or I think she'll just be like, "You need to go away."
Yeah. Hey,
So,
Takara.
hey. Yeah, it is. It's about the money. It's about because and it was obviously about the money when she then came on and was like, "Guess how much I made with this affiliate?"
Yep.
You know, and it's crazy. It's just it's so wild that she thinks people don't know.
Yeah.
And on Reddit, like, people on Reddit have been asking for a while, like, "Doesn't anybody know anything about Anita? Like, why isn't anyone talking about Anita?" And I was just like, "Oh, do I talk about it?" And then she did this, and I was like, "Yeah, yeah, we're gonna talk
Yeah.
about this."
I mean,
So,
it does take it I mean, it does, like, after and again, I hate bringing up Jessie Lee all the time or Optavia or the I it is some kind of pressure to have videos made about you. And then
it
when you
is.
watch them, it is tough to process through it and say, what's meaningful feedback? Am I going to be able to sit with some of this information and then take some time? And I know I can't watch all the videos, but I, am I contributing to someone's mental distress by commenting on behavior? And it's like, I hope that I have those hard conversations with myself every time I make a video because I don't want to lose my humanity in this process. And I haven't done it perfectly at all from the time I started making videos. But it's something that I'm willing to like continue having big feelings about because I want that the heavy weight of being in the commentary space, and some people don't think that. Some people think commentary is fun, that, you know, you shouldn't be too emotionally invested in it, and it's like, we're talking about real, like, humans here, and that we're talking about the behavior, and the behavior is I think that's why I wanna stay as close to behavior as possible,
Yeah.
but because the behavior is so awful
Yeah.
in some situations.
And, you know, and it's also the do we blur versus not blur?
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands of people are seeing her reels, and, for her, she's such a public figure. She has made no bones about it, and the blatant misrepresentation. I was like, I'm not blurring this when they need to see."
Yeah.
And but I agree. I think why I did struggle so much with this one is the humanity piece. And, you know, something I will tell my kids, because they'll say, you know, this person said, you know, that I'm mean or whatever. And I always tell them the very first thing is listen to them and then think to yourself, well, am I?
Mm,
And if you are, then you have some apologies to do and some changes to make.
yeah,
If you're not, you can just say thanks for the feedback and turn around.
right.
It doesn't matter. And so that's really what I've been doing on this. And that's, you know, my husband and I had that conversation of, well, what is your motivation? What's your motivation for doing this? I was
Yeah,
like, there are thousands of women who are believing this, and
yeah.
it's not okay.
And for the blurring thing, the reason I don't do it on my channel is because I want there to be no confusion. If I'm warning about a specific behavior in a public figure, I want there to be no confusion about and to who to avoid. If
Yeah.
you find the behavior the issue and it's behavior you don't want to associate with, I want it to be an easily recognizable, not for the internet to internet, but to say, oh, if I'm actually looking to sign up underneath someone and this is the person that I'm researching because I just had a coffee recruiting session at the local Starbucks and I'm going on YouTube and saying, Jesse Lee Ward, prove it. Or I'm looking at Anita Myron, Beachbody, or I'm looking at Doug and Tia Wood, Optavia. And you
Oh,
can say, oh my gosh, that's Doug and that's Tia. And I just had a coffee recruiting session with them. And these are some of the things they said. And if that person has an issue with that, then they can avoid. Because I know not everyone does. I
yeah,
know not everyone sees religious manipulation and what's going on in Optavia. I know not everyone sees the issue in what Jesse Lee Ward says about Jewish people. That I will always have a debate about that.
yes,
I understand that. I will say I try to do it in its entirety, and they're hella long streams. But and I know that Amy tries to do it too with Anita and show timestamps and say here's the issue, and Amy's always going to be here's a timestamp, here's a timestamp, here's a timestamp, and she's going to make it very clear because she doesn't. I know you want to talk about the behavior. You're not trying to say, man, everything bad that's ever happened to Anita is because she's a Beachbody coach. It's
yeah,
like no, no, no. We're talking about using fraudulent before and after photos and how that's a problem in Beachbody and in all of the affiliates that she's a part of.
absolutely. Yeah, I, yeah, this one was just wild.
Yes. Oh my God. Wild. Well, I can't wait to see more about this from you and your follow-up videos and see what
Because
happens.
now I get to go message the companies, and I'll just be like, "Oh, this is actually just on YouTube. Here are the timestamps, so you can
Yep.
check that out."
Yep.
Um, the Beachbody one, I'm gonna put it's gonna be pretty interesting. So,
Yeah. And I know that some people think like, "Oh, it's just fun to make commentary." Like, do you actually do any good stuff when you're making these videos? And there's a lot of back work that I do, that Amy does, that Cheryl, that Jen, that a lot of creators, at least the creators I know, we're spending a crap ton of time messaging the FTC, sharing the link, telling them what was in the video, and sending that to them. And then we take the FTC report number and we email compliance and say, "Hey, this is going on. Here's the FTC report number you can reference." Because if they think that no one else knows about it, they don't really give us the time of day.
yep.
So, yeah.
And, you know, and I really liked what Melissa said on this, that they've been talking about if you don't have access to the information, is that really freedom? And
Mm,
is it truly consent? Are you really, if you don't have the information, it's not, it's, in my opinion, it's not fair to ask someone um, for their commitment to something like this,
yep.
you know, and Prove It was absolutely, well, I can't say all of the legs. My leg was pretty good about like being professional-ish. But, um, but it's the culture. It is the culture, um, that they are pushing forward.
Yeah.
And, "Oh, look at this. This is amazing." Okay, a super chat, and thank you for the super chat. but submitted my form with Body to close my free account altogether.
I love that. Congratulations.
Because that's the only way that they're going to make any changes is the money. It has to impact them financially, which is
Yep.
unfortunate.
It is. And they've been given hundreds, if not thousands of chances, because I know on my channel we talk about reporting. I know Amy talks about reporting. Jen does as well. Jen B. Cheryl does. Amber does. Lots of creators do. And it's like we've tried to say, look, we're not trying to ruin your life. Please just talk. Tell this person they cannot make health claims about this. Tell them that they have to follow the FTC rules. Please do that. Oh, we're too busy.
Yep.
What?
We have too many other things to do. But you're saying that your fraud is so horrible right now that you can't address this.
Yep.
Yikes.
Yikes. Big yikes.
So,
oh my gosh, Cindy, congratulations. She closed accounts with Arbonne and Prove It. Congratulations. That's amazing.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
That's so cool.
That's it. And it's amazing, like the freedom that you feel. Like you haven't been doing it, but to like cut the tie, to be like, don't contact me again, which I should probably do with Beachbody. Be like, meh. I'm not the one. I'm not the one. And it tells you how little they look at people that they are messaging. Anita sends me emails and messages, and I'm like, have you ever looked at my page? Because I'm pretty sure she's going to be looking at my page now. But
yes, I hope she finds this video. And Anita, I don't expect you to make it all the way to the end, but if you're at this part, please just stop. Please. We're not saying it's bad to be an affiliate. We're saying use results that happened within the use of the product and also have the appropriate disclaimers that the company requires of you. And if there's none, then you need to look at the FTC because they seem to care about that stuff. Just follow the rules.
Just do the rules.
Yep.
Just if you're going to do it, be honest about it.
Yeah.
Well, my friend, thank you for holding me accountable. I messaged DC, you guys, and I was like, DC, will you be my emotional support animal for this live stream? Because this is hard. It's a lot. And yeah. So I appreciate you. You, my friend, are the best.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm happy to be your battle buddy on a stream. It's tough talking about people, and doing it in a respect and trying your best to do it in a respectful way. And even if you are doing it in a respectful way, it's still hard. It's still really hard. So I'm glad that you are exposing the behavior and how you speaking up is going to help consumers be warned about stuff like this. So you're incredible. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, my friend. All right, you guys, make sure. And I would say, please like, comment, all those things. But I think sharing this one to show this is it's not okay. And they need to be held accountable.
Yep. Yeah, if you take a screenshot and share the link to Amy's channel and tag her, and you can tag me and I'll tag Amy, but getting the word out is awesome. And we don't take that lightly that anybody shares stuff on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter or even just sends the link to a friend who maybe is thinking about using the product that Amy talked about earlier. So thank you so much. Live chat, you've been incredible, and replay crew. I know Amy has much non-culty love for you. And please lick the stream. I really appreciate it for Amy. And so thank you so much.
And then join us tomorrow for a snark session.
Heck yeah, Snark crew, let's go.
All right, see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.